this project went through the environmental assessment process, and this was the outcome. The improvements at Gateway Beltline, which have, or at I-5 Beltline, which have almost been completed. The projects that ODOT's working on, that actually faces this way, and that was the northbound flyover, and then adjustments to the exit ramp. That's the northbound I-5 exit ramp, the northbound I-5 on-ramp, the southbound I-5 exit ramps, the new one that comes up to the signal on Beltline, and then this one that goes west towards Cobra Grove on Beltline. And then some reconfiguration of these internal loop ramps and some bike ped work and some drainage work, but essentially this is the I-5 Beltline project. And they've been going through multiple units of this project and constructing the different phases. And something you can see in this picture is that the city's responsibilities to improve Gateway and Beltline are part of the larger project. So this ultimate solution for the interchange and the intersection was decided upon in 2003 as a result of the environmental assessment process. And it's documented in what's called a revised environmental assessment that's been signed by Federal Highways as a part of U.S. Department of Transportation, and also the Oregon Department of Transportation. So once all of that work was accomplished and all of the process and the approval of the federal and the state agencies, that's what opens the gate and allows money to flow towards the investment in improving the infrastructure. And that's been going on since 2005, I believe. Was when the flyover that's I-5 northbound to Beltline westbound was constructed, and then the most recent thing that I think ODOT constructed was the improved Beltline Highway Bridge over I-5, and now they're just doing some final tune-ups. What the city did in 2010 was a $10 million phase one improvement to the intersection of Gateway Beltline, which added turn movement and through movement capacity in, I think, all 4 of the direction points to that intersection. But it was a first step towards this ultimate environmental assessment solution from 2003 that would require turning Gateway Street into one way from Beltline south to a point by the first shopping center, and then having the northbound one way be on Cruz and Hutton Streets, which are to the east of Gateway. The city is in the process of beginning a conversation with ODOT to reevaluate whether that's the best long-term solution. There are some pretty significant property impacts from that solution to businesses in Gateway, and as you may know, we're also looking at the city council is looking at expanding the urban growth boundary in Gateway to the north for employment lands, which would ultimately increase traffic in this area and going through Gateway Beltline intersection. So we're beginning conversations with the Department of Transportation to see if we can't update current traffic counts, take a fresh look at projected traffic based on development patterns, and then come up with a solution that will work for the state and federal highways, but work better for the community. The original traffic problem was traffic backing up on I-5 at the northbound exit to Beltline, and that in the hierarchy of the street system, the interstate is supposed to be free-flowing and not have conflict points, and the access points aren't hard stop go access points but merge ramps, so everything's supposed to move all the time. And what was happening was that traffic was actually backing up onto I-5, waiting in a queue to get off I-5 and get onto Beltline, east and west. A lot of that traffic was driven by the success of Gateway Mall and the success of the commercial area. There were also safety problems. Originally, a lot of these interchange designs from the 1950s and 1960s did not anticipate the volume of traffic that would be using the interchanges. And if you can picture a typical clover leaf design, and this is what's going on at Delta Highway and Beltline also, the on-ramps and the off-ramps are too close together, and so that creates a weave problem where I'm coming down the on-ramp and I need to cross over the traffic that quickly needs to exit to the off-ramp, and I need to get in onto the freeway while they're getting off the freeway in a short distance at relatively high speeds. That's a kind of a identified design flaw from 20th century interchange designs, and the I-5 Beltline project, as you can see looking at the map, made some significant fixes to that by taking out this cloverleaf loop and this cloverleaf loop, so you could actually enter the highway without having to cross everybody who's exiting. And this flyover took all of this northbound I-5 traffic that was coming up to Beltline and trying to get on Beltline in both directions, took all of the traffic that's going west and just grade separated that out of the mix. So you can exit on I-5, get up on this ramp. It's called a flyover. It flies over the entire interchange, and then you're merging back onto Beltline West. Takes that move out of the interchange, brings capacity back, solves safety problems. Sure I have anything. Well, here it is. You can see the old interchange was, this is called a cloverleaf. And so here you're coming and you want to go northbound, and you come down here and then you merge onto the freeway. But at the same time, people who want to exit and go westbound are in your way, and you have to cross and get onto the freeway while they're trying to get off the freeway and get into this exit lane. And so that's an entrance and an exit in the same direction that are on top of each other with a spacing distance of, whatever that is, real limited at 60 miles an hour. It creates a weave. You're merging on, you're merging off. That weave is a safety problem. And so those are the kinds of challenges that were corrected with this new design at that interchange. We had a presentation from another member of the committee who works at the Oregon Employment Division, and she had done some pretty rough calculations, but it came out that over 40%, depending how you draw the boundary around Gateway on the east side of the freeway, over 40% of all the jobs in the city are in this one area, the Gateway area. So it's Springfield's economic engine. We have Main Street, we have downtown, we have Thurston, of course, Mohawk area, but the majority of jobs in concentration in any one location are in the Gateway area.